couple fights in his career. He has never, ever been dominated in a fight, and that's important to note.
9-0-1 since his last defeat in 2006, an 11th round KO to Carl Froch, though Magee had some good moments, known to fight or box, and said he's prepared for both possibilities tonight. Brian Magee hearing the boos from the crowd as he made his way into the ring. Al, your keys to victory for Magee.
Brian Magee tends to lunge in when he throws a lead left hook, and that's a big no-no tonight. Bute will surely counter him. Instead, even a pawing jab that he can follow inside is probably a better answer. And once he gets there, he can land a short, compact, straight left. This could be his ticket to an upset tonight.
Brian Magee, a tough, valiant guy with a lot of spirit and a great attitude. Magee is ready for the fight of his life. Will this be a more competitive fight than people think?
marque ce 7th World Championship defense. Ce soir marque la 7e défense de son championnat du monde. The IBF Super Middleweight Champion of the World, le champion du monde, Lucian Bute!
Quite an entrance for Lucian Bute here in Montreal. Yeah, it's good to be the king, and Bute has been coronated, just that, Al. Here in Montreal, where the Romanian-born lefty has settled truly a love affair with the undefeated champion. Bute 17-0 with 12 knockouts in this venue. Overwhelming home crowd advantage. Bute's popularity has reached unforeseeable heights, but he accepts it with great humility. And how about the challenger, Brian Magee, who's had to wait, it seems, forever
a long wait in the ring, and then you have to endure all of this. And this is, he admits, the biggest venue, the biggest stage he's ever been on. We'll see how it affects him.
Bute, clearly one of the top fighters in the world, particularly when he's motivated. And tonight in his Showtime Championship boxing debut, will we see a dramatic statement? So this crowd of better than 13,000 saluting Lucian Bute. Now let's get your keys to victory for the hometown favorite.
Lucian Bute often lets his left hand dangle low. This could invite a Magee left hand. Now Jesse Brinkley went down from a Bute body punch. This should be a big part of his plan tonight. And Magee can sometimes square himself up when he lunges in. The uppercut can catch him. Bute has a good one.
While fighters like our guest, Mikkel Kessler, and Super 6 combatants are looming, Lucian Bute is squarely focused on the task at hand. Now let's check the numbers as we go to the tail of the tape.
And the most salient numbers are the ones that indicate a significant height and reach advantage for Lucian Bute. He wants to use it, keep Magee on the end of his punches during this entire fight.
And both Al rehydrated about 10 pounds today. And the notable rules for tonight's IBF World Title fight.
Unified rules, no standing 8, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the ref can stop the fight. Fighter can't be saved by the bell in any round. And if there's a clash of heads, it would cause this fight to be stopped before 4 rounds. It would be a technical draw. After that, of course, they would go to the scorecards.
Ready now for Lucian Bute versus Brian Magee for the IBF Super Middleweight Championship. Let's get the official introductions from our ring announcer, the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. Mesdames et messieurs, bonsoir et bienvenue au Centre Bell dans la merveilleuse ville de Montréal. We welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bell Center here in Montreal for the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Interbox and Showtime. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the IBF. The president is Daryl Peoples. The supervisor is Hiawatha Knight, along with the Quebec Combat Sports Commission. Commissioner is Michel Hamelin. Our physicians at ringside, Dr. Pierre Mounier and Dr. Marc Gagné. Timekeepers at the bell, also keeping count of the knockdowns, Andre Huard and Jerry Bolin. Introducing our judges at ringside, les juges pour ce combat. From Canada, Pasquale Procopio. Also from Canada, Benoit Roussel. And from England, Mickey Van. Our third man of the ring hails from the United States, our referee in charge, Pete Podgorski. Mesdames et messieurs, c'est l'attraction principale de la soirée. All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF Super Middleweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world on direct de Montréal, live from Montreal, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, the challenger, fighting out of the blue corner, l'Aspirant dans le coin bleu. Wearing black trunks with green and silver trim, he hails from Lisburn, Northern Ireland. He weighed in at 167 3/4 pounds with a record of 34 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw. He has 24 wins coming by way of knockout. here is the European champion, ranked the IBF number 5 super middleweight world contender. Please welcome the challenger. Veuillez accueillir l'aspirant, introducing Brian Magee. And his opponent across the ring, the defending champion on my right, fighting out of the red corner, Le Champion dans la coin rouge, wearing white trunks with blue trim, originally from Romania, now fighting out of and representing Montreal, Quebec, Canada. He weighed in at 167.5 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign with a record of 27 wins, no losses, 22 wins coming by way of knockout. As one of the stars of boxing tonight, he is making the 7th defense of his title. Here is the undefeated IBF super middleweight champion of the world, Veuillez accueillir le champion, introducing Lucian Bute. And once again, a referee in charge now to give instructions, Pete Podgorski.
Let's go. Let's get this out of here. Let's make sure we get this out. Last thing I need is somebody. Center ring, one person. Brian Lucian, first and foremost, protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. Good luck, touch gloves, come out banging at the bell.
The Bell Center crowd bursting with pride and passion. There are the Montreal Canadiens, and then there's Lucian Bute. Hasn't lost since 2003 as an amateur. Can Brian Magee, in his first world title shot, pull off the colossal upset? Some feel he may need the luck of the Irish. A battle of southpaws for the IBF Super Middleweight Championship. Pete Podgorski, the third man in the ring, says, let's go. Bute, a natural left-hander on the white with blue trim. 27-0, 22 knockouts, 4 straight knockouts, 6 in his last 7 fights. Magee, a natural right-hander, wearing the black with green and silver. 34, 3-1, 24 knockouts, also with 4 straight knockouts. His only KO loss to Carl Froch.
Both men are exceptional body punchers, and we should look for both of them to try and go to the body. Magee, in 2 of his last 3 fights, has knocked people down with body punches.
Bute with 3 first-round knockouts early in his career. Magee has 4 also early on. Bute with a terrific arsenal, good technical skills, excellent body puncher, as Al points out. He's deceptive, fast and accurate, but watch for the left uppercut to the chin. That was the telling punch in his last 2 fights. He really puts all of his power behind it. It is an awesome weapon.
See Magee already trying to go with the right hook downstairs. And early in this fight, we want to look to see if the reach of Bute prevents Magee from getting on the inside at all.
Magee can box and counter, but by nature an aggressive pressure fighter who digs to the body.
Nice right hook there by Bute, and that's not his signature punch.
Magee sometimes leads with his head, lunges in, making him vulnerable to the uppercut, which did him in versus Carl Froch. But he is determined, fights with heart. Bute can be aggressive or box as well, so we could see a bit of a chess match early on.
Both men trying to establish the jab here early. That's the distance that Magee wants once he's on the inside.
Come on, work out on your own, guys. Give yourself room and watch your footing.
Pete Podgorski getting a couple of words in. Bute facing his first southpaw in over 4 years. Had some great sparring with lefties, James McGirt, Daniel Judah.
Come on, guys, work out of there, work out.
He's 2-0 versus southpaws.
And that could be a big difference. McGirt and Judah, 2 quality sparring mates. Magee had trouble finding the right sparring mates in Belfast to simulate Bute.
Bute trying to end it there with the right hook. Magee said it was tough getting guys as tall as Bute to spar. He really dislikes fighting other southpaws, though he dominated Denmark's former golden boy before Mikkel Kessler, Mads Larsen, last year. Magee said the problem with fighting lefties is you don't see the shots coming. He's 1-1 against southpaws.
Nice straight left hand by Magee. He has gotten through this first round, probably not won it, but he's gotten through this without any serious faux pas, and for him, that's good.
Final seconds of round 1.
You ready for that bell? No punching late. Time.
Mikkel Kessler, of course, with us and here at ringside, and we're going to get his comments. So the first thing we're going to talk about is take a look at the Super 6 tournament. And Mikkel, you see Andre Ward and Arthur Abraham in the semifinals, and Carl Froch against Glenn Johnson. Tell us what you think of those fights and maybe what you think is going to happen.
I think it's this tournament. Everything happened in this tournament. You got to remember that. And Ward, a very awkward fighter. Arthur Abraham coming by losses, and I think he learned a big lesson in his gym. So I think we're going to see a technical good Andre Ward, but we're going to see a surprising Arthur Abraham. And,
more aggressive, huh?
Yeah.
What about Froch and Johnson?
Froch and Johnson, Glenn is also a very awkward fighter, and so is Froch. But I will say that Froch will win the fight.
All right, well, you fought both Froch and Andre Ward, of course, in the tournament, losing to Ward and then winning that exciting fight against Carl Froch.
That's right, that's right.
We get set for round 2. I got to ask Mikkel a question. After seeing the rock star treatment for Lucian Bute, would you fight Bute here in Montreal?
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Oh, wow, all right. He's happy to do that.
A confident Mikkel Kessler.
And by the way, you sparred with Magee, did you not? And you said there's a big difference in how he fights in the fight than how he spars.
Yeah.
Come on, punch out of there, guys. Punch out.
He's not so aggressive as in sparring. I sparred him before the Joe Galsaki fight. He wasn't aggressive at all. Easy, but when you see him in fight, he's more of a chance taker.
Okay.
If you can say that.
Yes.
But you see, like Lucian Bute has, he wants to control the fight from the start in the first round.
Yeah, he has great command in the ring. Lucian Bute, slick, moves well, has that effective right up jab. As mentioned, the great left uppercut from short or long range, usually flush on the chin. He can drop you with a straight left or the right hook. Terrific body puncher. In fact, Mr. Body Puncher in the March 2010 edition of the Ring magazine. How do you like that?
I had no idea there was that title. Okay. I think you were Mr. Announcer. Pretty sure.
I was the centerfold.
Punch out there. Come on, work out.
Magee is getting himself within punching. He's making it a messy fight, and that's what he wants.
It's too early to be grabbing. Come on.
That's Pete Podgorski. Pete, of course, was a fighter himself and a fine referee who worked for the Chicago Park District. Retired his wife as a policeman in Chicago.
Pete, former junior middleweight Al from your neck of the woods, Chicago. He was known as the Polish Hammer. He fought in the 70s and 80s. Yep.
Now, Bute is just not quite as accurate as he'd like to be with the jab and the straight left hand. He's just barely missing that punch.
Work out of those.
Magee didn't fight in all of 2009, a combination of an inability to get good fights and a lingering injury to the glute.
Nice little straight left hand there by Magee. It's not a big punch, but if he lands those, it's going to make a difference in this fight.
Magee, a tough, versatile southpaw.
Good body shot there, Lucian Bute.
Yeah, Bute going downstairs.
Break. Easy, easy. Don't grab the head. Come on. Give yourself room, guys.
Now there's Magee going downstairs. He loves to punch to the body.
And it was blocked by the arm of Bute. Magee coming forward.
Let him go. Let him go, Brian.
Little holding there by the challenger, Magee. Right hook missing by Bute. And again, they come together. As we head for the bell, round 2.
End of the round coming up. Watch the bell. Time.
We'll take it into Bute's corner. Our translator is Pierre Bernier.
Finding your rhythm now. See, now we took out the jab. Going well.
Assez ou pas assez? Double-le, mais assez pas tomber dans l'avant. Si tu doubles ton jab.
Keep using the jab. 2 jabs. If he gives 2 jabs, you could give 1. Then you could go over. You got to drink. Come on, drink up.
Lucian, écoute.
Lucian, listen.
Pas juste le jab au corps. Jab, ta gauche au corps, c'est écœurant. Ta pincée solide. Le jab avec. Bum, bum. OK? Be first. No, c'est le ball. You didn't say. Just put a little hop step back and let it go full. No hop step, let it go full.
Well, there's something you don't often see at a fight. Former world-rated super bantamweight Bernardo Checa in the corner of Brian Magee. You heard from Stéphane LaRouche, Bute's trainer, Montreal native. Also works with Adrian Diaconou.
Checa came to Belfast to spar with Barry McGuigan and decided to stay there years ago and become a trainer. And he's been working with Magee for his whole career.
Checa fought in the 80s 9 world champions, including Roberto Duran late in his career.
Way too much grabbing. Give yourself room, man.
Bute, so familiar. He's fought 13 of his last 14 fights. Oh, nice right hook by Magee in this arena. And, you know, when you're comfortable here, it's a big help.
Bute being very patient. There's a nice right hand by Lucian.
And Magee with the counter right hook. So Magee is finding his range a little bit on the inside.
Oh. Body shot there by Bute. And that made Magee double over momentarily.
Nickel, you obviously like the body work that Bute is doing early in this fight.
He's doing a very good body work. But I will also say that Magee is open for it. He walks into them.
You got to box and move against Bute, yeah?
Yeah.
Get in and out fast.
Yeah. Completely right.
Yeah, you can't linger in front of him.
Yeah.
Bute's starting to unravel the right hook, which he doesn't use as a major weapon, but will use it from time to time, and it's landing against Magee. Here's Magee going downstairs again.
As this fight unfolds, Bute gaining ground. Finding the openings. There's another great body shot. Counter left hand to the head by Magee. That was a nice punch.
Don't punch. Don't push.
Over that very low left hand of Bute. I'm telling you, this guy's got a sneaky left hand, and he can land it.
I think that really surprised the champion.
That was a beautiful punch.
It was quick and accurate again.
Yeah, he gotta be careful.
Come on, guys.
Say that again.
Give yourself room, man.
I've been telling everybody that'll listen for the last week, Brian Magee is no walkover for Lucian Bute.
Brian Magee, who's trying to send shockwaves through the boxing world here with a victory in Bute's backyard.
He's lost a couple of questionable decisions. He had a questionable draw. He fought Carl Froch tough until he was knocked out. This guy's no pushover.
First title shot for Brian Magee, chance of a lifetime.
A straight left by Bute, and the hook again, which Bute has done better in this fight than other fights.
Watch the head. End of the round coming up. Make sure you stop on the bell. Time.
Well, Saturday, April 16th at 10:30 p.m. Showtime. Championship Boxing is back as Juan Manuel Lopez defends his WBO featherweight championship against Orlando Salido.
You know, Juan Manuel Lopez, like his countryman Miguel Cotto, who we saw earlier tonight, is a vulnerable, exciting champion. You can't ask for more than that, and that's why that Salido fight is so good. Early in the round, Brian Magee, in what was his best round in this fight, was able to get a couple of right hooks in, that one partially blocked. And then later in the round, Magee was able to land this very good straight freight train left hand, the best punch he has had in the fight. And it, for a moment, it pushed Bute back on his heels. But Bute, being the champion that he is, came back landing his own left hand later on in that round.
Magee's corner feels if they could get Bute to the later rounds, who knows? They've studied Bute's fight with Librado Andrade, the first one, and gained confidence from that.
Now, part of this is, you know, Bute had those problems at the end of the Andrade fight, but he is a very well-conditioned fighter. And Stefan LaRouche, his trainer, said he's never seen anybody work harder in the gym. He said he's motivated. He comes every day to try and become a better fighter. And so it's not as if he's not ready for those later rounds. It's just that that's a time when Magee might get to him.
And then Bute took Andrade out convincingly, 4th-round knockout in the rematch. Round 4 scheduled for 12.
The power punches landed and an edge to Magee. And part of that is Bute's landed more jabs, so he's relied on that punch a lot.
Magee has good power. He's physically strong, good straight left hand.
You know, the headline in this fight to me, one of them is the right hook of Bute. It's not his primary punch, but boy, Mikkel, he's landing that punch a lot. Why do you think so much tonight?
Yeah, I really don't know.
It's an odd punch for him to throw, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a style, and they're not used to find those
Is it
left.
Maybe because he's fighting a left-hander as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Now, come on.
But you can also see Bute have his right hand a lot down here. Doesn't have it up to the chin. He's not used to getting that straight left.
No, exactly.
Bute has a habit of holding that right hand low, as you know, Mikkel, so you got to fire that straight left if you see the opening.
Yeah, of course.
And we've seen it from Magee, and now Magee's making this fight. The geography of this fight is not bad for Brian Magee. He's getting enough on the inside so that he can land some of those little short punches.
And he's being wise in staying off the rope, staying out of the corners, keeping it in the center of the ring. So far, the challenger, Bute, a 12-1 underdog in his first world title fight, giving a pretty good account of himself.
Well, Magee, when he went to fight Mads Larsen in Denmark, nice uppercut. That was the first good uppercut that Bute has been able to land, but there's Magee going back to the body. When he went to fight Mads Larsen, who was 51-2 at that time, he was a huge underdog, and everybody thought he was going to walk in and get destroyed by Larsen.
Nice right hook upstairs by Bute.
And in that fight, he went into the Lions Den like tonight. This is a good action round. That was a case of lunging by Magee, and he caught a counterpunch that hurt him.
Yeah, he can be vulnerable. He dives in.
Watch out, watch the head.
And at times that has been his undoing. Magee wants to lead the St. Patrick's Day Parade tomorrow. That's right, it's tomorrow in Montreal.
Why's that parade tomorrow? Well, that's another story. Magee coming in and going to the body, and there you see the combination punching that ends with a right hook to the head of Bute. But this is a big punch for Bute. When he can land the uppercut, and there he gets it in. Oh. Now, that's a difference maker usually for Bute.
Yeah.
And he gave him a good one.
It was a beautiful punch he came with there. But it's also more a chance he took, Lucian Bute, with that uppercut, because you know when you throw uppercut like that, you don't see his head is coming right here, but he knows he's coming in all the time. That's why he's thrown it. So he's trying new combinations, and that's good for Bute.
And in Bute's last two fights, the uppercut was the big story. A short one versus former contender star Jesse Brinkley, and from longer range versus rugged Edison Miranda. Seconds after Miranda gestured, "Is that all you got?" I guess he found out. It is round 5, scheduled for 12 for the IBF Super Middleweight Championship. Lucian Bute in the white, Magee in the black.
The unofficial scoring of our press row scores will give you another viewpoint. Vincent Morin from the Journal 24 Hours here in Canada. David Spencer from the Fight News, and Herb Zurkowski from the Montreal Gazette. 40-36, and of course two that have it, as I have it, scored 39-37 for Bute. So I think those scores are kind of right on the ball, on the mark.
Work out of there, work out. You got to hold. Stop punches.
A lot of holding.
Stop punching. No push.
Well, Pete Podgorski getting miffed. Pushing, holding.
And probably the person he'll take it out on most might be Magee, because Magee likes a fight like that. But, oh, here's that straight left again by Magee. I'm telling you, that guy's got a sneaky left hand.
Then he snuck in a right for good measure.
And I think there's just a smidge of swelling underneath the right eye of Bute. And Bute's going to have to get a little more aggressive, I think, in this fight.
Yeah, he seems to, there's a slip. Even holding back.
Yeah.
And it doesn't allow the crowd to get into it.
And clearly Bute's probably winning this fight, although I have him up only by 2 points. But you know, he's not making Brian Magee fight his fight exactly.
No, I would say that Brian Magee now, he's getting into the fight a little bit more. You know, he's throwing more punches.
Gaining a little confidence,
yeah, a little confidence.
Are you surprised?
He's taking his chance.
Are you surprised, Mikkel, at how easy Bute has been able to be hit?
You know what? I can see on Bute's eyes that he has difficulty in fighting Magee because he's a left-hander.
And a right hook there, as you were talking by Bute.
Yeah.
Bute's picked up the pace in this round, and it's become an interesting fight. I mean, I think there's certainly enough action here. It's not one-sided, and both men are doing some good work. The right hook of Bute, I just think it's a nice weapon. Oh, hammer of a jab and a good body shot by Bute.
And Magee seems to be increasingly vulnerable to that Bute right hook.
Much less movement from Bute than we are normally see in his fights. He's normally more lateral movement, but this fight he has settled down and he is exchanging punches with Magee.
Magee acquitting himself well thus far. Final seconds of round 5.
Well, coming up, work out. Punch out, time!
Saturday, April 23rd at 10 p.m. It's the finals of Showtime's Bantamweight Tournament. Joseph Agbeko fights Abner Mares in the championship, and Victor Archinian faces Yanni Perez in the consolation bout.
We see Brian Magee getting in another one of those right hooks. While Bute's has been better, Magee has gotten his in somewhat also, but his is not as powerful as Bute has been. And here's where Magee just kind of, you see the lunging of Brian Magee. That's a perfect example of how that affects him. And Bute's right hook has just been terrific in this fight. And you see he delivers it in a more compact way than Brian Magee and has a little more power on it.
Beautiful crowd on hand here in a beautiful city. We're told the attendance figure is 12,219 at the Bell Center. Big deep breath for Lucian Bute, the champion, as he embarks on round 6.
You know, Bute might be the most eligible bachelor in Montreal. He's got 4 sisters and he is single, so I'm sure some of the gals here in Montreal took note of that.
Magee is betrothed.
Yes, he is.
Also married.
That too. It's good straight left hand again by Magee. When he doesn't lunge with that punch, it's pretty effective.
Work out of there. Break. You guys work out on your own. Step back.
Pete Podgorski earning his money tonight. Nice movement here by Magee.
Yeah, that's strange to see more lateral movement from him than Bute. And of course, in his younger days, he was more of a boxer counterpuncher. The Bute jab now making itself known. I think Bute has underused the jab, though, in this fight. Would you think so, Mikkel?
Yeah, he should use it much more.
Particularly against a guy like Magee, who comes in with his head.
But he's getting very good as body punches in.
Yes, he is.
And also the uppercuts.
Right hook.
But the body punches is killing Magee in the end.
Yeah, wow.
There's a body punch by Magee.
He's taking it good.
Yeah, Brian Magee goes downstairs as well. Both these men committed to this. Jesse Brinkley knocked down a couple of times by Bute in the last fight by body punches, and we mentioned Magee has scored several knockdowns in recent fights with body punches.
And Bute can take a punch. He's only been down the one time in the first fight against Andrade.
Oh my, big right hook.
And down goes Magee. That is a knockdown.
5, 6, 7, 8.
The flash knockdown. He doesn't seem to be hurt. He was just startled by it. He got up rather quickly. Oh, a big right hand. A beautiful right hook to the kisser by Bute.
And now he has been down before, Brian Magee, and except against Froch, he gets up and stays up.
That's the 5th time in his career he's down. Yeah, he was down twice against Froch, down 2 other times, but came back to win. Of course, he lost to Froch. There's another right hook to the head. Now Bute's starting to find the mark more regularly.
Clash of heads.
Keep him up. Keep him up.
It's been a rough fight. A lot of holding, pushing, colliding of heads. Body shot by Bute.
He has become so much better at body punch in recent fights.
Right hook upstairs by Bute. Now a combination to the head by Bute. Magee, though, fighting back valiantly.
Wait, bell coming up. You ready to stop?
Heading for the bell, round 6. Magee missing with a straight left hand.
That's a fun round of boxing.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah, he sure is. Bute going downstairs. I mean, that was a tremendous shot downstairs that sent Magee down. We mentioned he had put Brinkley down twice with body punches, and Bute gets all kinds of leverage on these punches, and that's just a tremendous left hand. And a lot of times when people go down from body punches like that, they don't get up as quick as Brian Magee did, or period.
We have to start work now. We have to start work now. Come on, okay? If we want to win this title, we have to work now. Come on, okay? Come on.
Well, this crowd is now really into it after the knockdown by Bute in round 6 off of a body shot to this man's gut. Bute ready to continue halfway through this IBF Super Middleweight Championship. Let's see how Magee reacts now after he was put down in the last round.
Presto scoring pretty interesting. I have it 59-54 as David Spencer of Fight News does, but Herb Zurkowski and Vincent Moran, they have it a little closer, 58-55. Remember, the last round was a 10-8 round.
Watch the head coming in, guys.
And that's unofficial scoring, of course, by the press row.
Lucian Bute trying to protect his undefeated record, 27-0, 22 knockouts, 7-0 with 6 knockouts in world title affairs. Magee 34-3-1 with 24 knockouts. The 1 KO loss to Super 6 semifinalist Carl Froch. This was back in 06.
Come on, guys, work out, work out.
Bute in the white, Magee in the black.
Let him go. It's you.
Those inside uppercuts digging in by Bute.
You know, Bute's one of these fighters, even though the outside is where he wants to be, he can fight on the inside. There's the Magee jabs coming out, which we haven't seen much of in the last couple of rounds.
And that is exactly when that close range uppercut becomes more of a factor for Bute, when he's inside. But he can also unleash it from a distance.
Bute trained in Florida for this fight, his 4th straight training camp down there. He said, I get away from Montreal, and it helps me a lot. And we talked about Glenn Johnson. A couple fights ago, he sparred with Glenn Johnson, and that was special. Again, speaking of special, how about the right hook again by Bute?
Break.
That has been a huge factor in this fight. A lot of head movement from Bute.
Bute keeps his left hand so low, and yet he gets away with it for the most part in fights. And even though Magee's landed some good straight left hands over it, not that many.
Bute relies a lot on his reflexes.
And Brian Magee is now in some, beautiful counter punch by Bute. Brian Magee's getting in some dangerous territory because he's not a big puncher. So if he gets too far down in the scorecards, he's going to have a problem in these later rounds.
You can see Lucian Bute taking the middle all the time.
That might have been a low blow.
That is not a knockdown.
Keep him up, low. All right.
Pete Podgorski cautioning Bute.
There you go. Let's go. Come on.
Wow. Okay, not much of a delay for Brian Magee.
Well, he is game, isn't he? Now he goes down from a punch. Was that another body punch?
Brian Magee should not have come back that quick.
You want to stay here? You got to show me something.
Down for the second time in 2 rounds, but there's the bell.
Deep breath. Come on, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Come on. Come on, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Come on, take a deep breath. Come on, John. Come on, John.
We will watch the first knockdown. Now, we presumed it was low, and Pete Podgorski called it low. Let's see. No, sir. There is nothing low about that. Now,
it was the reaction of Magee that made the ref think it was low.
Yep, and here's the second one, and that also is a legal blow. So it is interesting, and I have to say we thought it might be low the first one. That wasn't even close to being low. So 3 knockdowns in this fight because of body punches to Brian Magee.
Magee got away with one, the second one.
Yeah.
Throw punches. Throw punches.
So things are now looking very grim, very bleak for the challenger, Brian Magee.
He's got to be careful for those body punches.
Yeah, I guess.
And now you can see his mouth is wide open, and that's not a good sign. We begin the 8th.
Cover up, Magee.
That's good advice. Well, and you know, we talked about Bute improving in various areas, and body punching is one of them. And boy, he showed it against Jesse Brinkley in his last fight when he stopped Brinkley, and he's showing it here tonight. Brian Magee is coming back, though. I mean, give him credit for being resilient.
Well, we said before the fight he does fight with a lot of heart, and he's showing that here. I'm just not sure he can handle the body attack of Lucian Bute. He's been down twice. Bute continues to come on. A game. Brian Magee flailing.
He is thrown for the fences, too. I mean, Magee's just trying everything to see if he can hurt Bute.
He knows there's a big sense of urgency here on his part.
Don't punch, don't punch.
2 10-8 rounds, and Brian Magee made a serious tactical error. Even though it wasn't a low punch, Pete Podgorski said it was low. He should have stayed down or stayed longer after that first knockdown. It wasn't called a knockdown, but I'll tell you, Magee's having himself a pretty good round 8.
Come on.
But boy, he looks fatigued.
Come on.
Those body shots taking a lot out of Magee. It looks like his mouthpiece is ready to be spit out. Either that or it's too big.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good point. I think he's, it might just be ill-fitting.
We approach the final minute of the 8th round.
Right hook gets in for Magee, and then he throws a nice little short left. I have to tell you, so far, I think Magee's winning round 8, even though he was in so much trouble in the previous round. Magee hasn't been able to get downstairs again. Nice jab, though, by Bute.
It's a beautiful up jab. Magee missing with a left-right. Bute now in complete command, measuring him out. Straight left hand to the head by Bute.
Work out of there, work out. Hey,
Bute's looking for the one punch, you can see.
Yeah, Magee's trying to do anything just to land something.
Yeah.
Magee uncorking one off the hip, getting admonished by Pete Podgorski, the ref.
Bute hasn't really gone downstairs, though. That was a low blow by Bute.
That was on the hip of Magee. So Bute retaliating. Oh, beautiful left hand to the body. Another one by Bute. Another one. He's just digging in. It's like a sledgehammer now. Lucian Bute. Well, it's the fight of the year, May 7th on Showtime pay-per-view, as 8th division champ Manny Pacquiao faces another future Hall of Famer in Sugar Shane Mosley.
And what makes that pay-per-view even more attractive is the fact that Humberto Soto will be defending his lightweight title against Urbano Antion. That was their first fight, was the fight of the year last year in many quarters, and there's the rematch on May 7th, so it's going to be a great night. Bute landed this punch a bit low in the last round. He landed more punches that were legal to the body in the last round. In that last round, he threw some hellacious punches to the body. And I'll tell you, it's amazing to me that the punches from the body in the last round didn't knock Magee down. Magee was winning the round, but I think Bute stole it in the last minute or so.
They are working feverishly on Brian Magee, and that looks like an ill-fitted mouthpiece. Round 9. Mikkel, are you impressed with Lucian Bute, and do you still want to fight him?
I tell you, I will fight anybody. But of course, Lucian Bute has his failures. But he's doing very good today, and I must say Brian Magee is doing a great job also. Great fight.
And very impressive body work, yes?
Very impressive.
Magee is 5-2-1 in 12 rounds, and Bute is undefeated in going 12 rounds. Obviously 2-0, I believe. Now there is the last round. We saw Bute kind of taking control of the round toward the end and landing the punches. There's the total punches landed. And you know what makes this interesting, it's not a huge edge for Bute, but the fact is his punches have had more on them and have been obviously more powerful.
But Magee certainly busy, as you can tell from those numbers. He does have a good work rate, there's no question about that.
And we talk about Magee's conditioning. He owns his own fitness center in Belfast. And he said, it's part of the way I stay in shape. I'm always teaching classes, and he better be in shape, and he is in shape to have absorbed this kind of body punching and still be upright.
Yeah, he's in great shape, I must say.
Yeah, he lands a straight right hand, and Bute has been very efficient here tonight. I think it's the best way to describe him.
Now looking very sharp. Beautiful jab. Bute has a new strength coach. She put on 4 pounds of muscle. So it's been harder to hit 168, although he had no problem yesterday at the weigh-in. But after possibly fighting Mikkel Kessler and then perhaps the Super 6 winner down the road, he could move up in weight.
I'll tell you what, you know, and I'm looking at this fight and I'm thinking of the gentleman sitting next to me, and I'm thinking of all the Super 6 super middleweights. This style that Bute's fighting here tonight, a little different than what he normally does. He's more stationary. He could make some tremendous fights with people like you and other people. They would be fan favorite fights, I think.
Of course, of course. If he's, you know, he's actually a little awkward. Oh, Magee's with a good left there.
Good straight left hand by Brian Magee. So, of course, Brian Magee has 3 rounds to try and change everybody's opinion.
Final seconds of round 9. Magee, the challenger in the black, has been down 2 times from body shots.
This is a bigger... Bute is taking so many more risks in this fight than I've seen him ever take. I mean, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Our translator is Pierre Bernier.
He's back in the fight again. We're going into the 10th. How's the energy level? Good.
Es-tu capable de sortir des doubles jab gauche sans forcer, sans tomber par en avant? Bien assis sur tes jambes.
You got to keep the left one going.
We're at the Bell Center in Montreal, Quebec, Canada for the IBF Super Middleweight Championship. Steve Albert ringside with Al Bernstein and former WBA and WBC Super Middleweight champ Mikkel Kessler. Jim Gray also with us as we get set for the 10th.
Hey, where we at? Recoche en haut de ça. Go for it. Come on.
Now it's 3 rounds left, and I know when you stand in the 10th round, you got more energy because now you can see the end of the fight. So it's going to be exciting to see this round.
We've seen a lot of strengths tonight here in Lucian Bute. The body work, the right hook, the up jab. Mikkel Kessler, do you see any weaknesses in Lucian Bute?
Yes, of course I do. You know, his right hand is a lot down. What he throws is he's open for him. The punches he throws himself. If you know, with the right hook, and when Magee he throws the right hook or the left hook, sorry, then he's open for that too. So sometimes they will exchange punches.
Well, Magee's problem has been that when he has landed his power punches, they haven't done enough damage, and Bute's have.
There's that body work again with the straight left by Bute.
Vincent Moran and Herb Zurkowski have it the way I have it, 88-81, and David Spencer 89-80 for Bute.
One-sided unanimous decision along press row. Crowd erupting as Bute erupts. Some resounding body work.
And then here comes Magee back. He's a rough customer. You know, Bute's winning this fight. There's no question about it. But you got to take your hats off to Magee. He's still in there, you know, wailing away, trying to land something big.
He's like a net. You try to swat him away. He won't give up.
Landing those little counter right hooks on the inside.
Blocking that, the shot there was Magee.
Stefan LaRoche and Bute told us they expected this to be a 12-round fight. They didn't really expect Magee to go away in this fight. And even with those brutal knockdowns to the ball, there's another one.
Speaking of brutal, another wicked body shot. And it's being waved off.
When we're talking about it.
That is it. He goes down for the 3rd time on a body shot, and Bute is the winner.
Not yet. Just give me the time.
The weapon du jour, the thunderous body shot.
I don't know when I have seen a fighter do a better job of body punching than Lucian Bute did here tonight. Creating really 4 knockdowns, if you count the one that they didn't count, with body punches, with that left uppercut to the body. It's become a fascinating weapon. And we go inside the ropes and see this fight in microcosm, and of course, the headline is the body punching by Bute. There he is downstairs. And it's usually the left hand. Now there was Magee going down. One of the knockdowns. And that was another one. This one actually wasn't called an official knockdown, but in truth it was. And then he kept ripping those left hands downstairs. And again, Brian Magee down. And finally, Bute would land the last one that ended the fight.
A body shot festival. As the love affair between Lucian Bute and the province of Quebec continues. Bute, all smiles, remains undefeated and in the hearts of over 12,000 fans here tonight. His 7th successful defense of the IBF super middleweight crown.
And we'll see the knockdown. Now that was a beautiful uppercut. Actually, that landed to the head. I have to correct myself. That one landed to the head. It looked like it landed to the body, but it really got into the head. Let's take another look at it. Because he's landed at both places. That was a left uppercut to the head. I have to say it looked like a body shot at first, but it landed perfectly to the jaw. And, of course, an uppercut by Frotch is what ended Magee's fight against Frotch. So that punches his Achilles heel. This man could throw it, let me tell you.
So, Lucian Bute doing it all to the body and to the chin. We're set for the official announcement. Let's go up to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes, 4 seconds in round number 10. A referee in charge, Pete Podgorski, stops the contest. He is the winner by way of technical knockout. He is still undefeated. He is still the IBF Super Middleweight Champion of the world, Lucian Bute.
So Lucian Bute goes to 28-0 with 23 knockouts, his 5th straight knockout win. Let's take a look at the sports media punch stats for Lucian Bute and Brian Magee.
And you see in the power punches, so many of those were Bute body punches. And even though the power punches ended up being close in number, clearly the effect of Bute's were much, much more. And the final one, that left uppercut to the head, was the one that did Brian Magee in.
So indeed, he finished Magee off in the 10th with a vicious shot on the chin. Let's get it upstairs to Jim Gray for post-fight reaction. Jim.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. Lucian, congratulations. Chris Ganescu will interpret in Romanian. You're going to try and speak a little bit of English. Was Magee tougher than you thought?
Yes, first of all, I thank Showtime for to give me this big opportunity to fight in Showtime. Thank you very much. And Brian Magee is a good fighter, very good fighter. He has a hard head. It's very tough. The Irlandese guy is very, very tough. I impressive for him.
At what point did you know that if you went to the body, you could take control of this fight?
Când ți-ai dat seama că dacă lovești la corp, e lua controlul acestui meci?
That's Romanian they're speaking.
Yes. După a 4-a repriză am simțit că pot să lovesc la corp. Antrenorul meu Stefan Laruș mi-a zis că pot să lovesc mai mult la corp cu stânga, pentru că la cap era foarte, foarte dur și rezista foarte mult.
After the 4th round, I realized that the body shots were working. The trainer told me to try more to the body, and that's how I did it. After the 4th round.
What did you learn tonight? What do you feel you have to improve on?
Ce ai învățat astăzi? Ce crezi că poți să faci mai bine de acum încolo?
Cu siguranță voi intra în sală și tot timpul când intru în sală am ceva de învățat. Fiecare dată stau 2 ore și încerc să fiu mai bun de fiecare dată. După această experiență a fost o experiență foarte bună pentru mine în acest meci. Mi-a dat mai multă încredere și maturitate în ring și mi-am dat seama că dacă dau drumul la brațe și sunt relaxat, totul va fi bine.
What I learned tonight is going back to the gym, and I'm going to have to, let my arms go more and more. That's what I'm going to do. If I let my arms go, and everything comes.
Mikkel Kessler is here tonight. He's sitting right behind you. You're looking at him right now. He said before the fight that he would like to negotiate to fight with you if his eye is okay and if you won this fight. You've now won this fight. Would you like to fight Mikkel if he is okay to fight?
De la ochi, Mikkel Kessler, vrei să te bați cu el? Vrei să negociezi cu el, să te bați cu el?
Bineînțeles, sunt deschis să mă bat cu oricine. M-am fost concentrat în această seară pentru meciul cu Brian. Dacă Mikkel cred că își revine și poate să urce în ring, oricând sunt pregătit să mă bat cu el.
If he's well enough to fight, yes, I'll fight anybody. I'll fight anybody. Mikkel Kessler or anybody else, I'll fight him.
Are you ready to fight outside of Montreal? You've been so successful here. You're now 18-0 in your last 18 fights.
Of course, it's my dream to fight in Madison Square Garden, New York, and Las Vegas. It's my dream. Showtime give me this opportunity. Let's go in the United States.
Finally, who do you like in the Super 6 middleweight fights? Who do you like to win between Froch and Johnson and between Abraham and Ward?
Cine crezi că câștigă la semifinalele de la Super 6?
My opinion on the final is Carl Froch and Andre Ward. The final, I think.
And we'll see you afterwards. Congratulations, great fight tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right, Steve, let's go back down to you.
All right, Jim, thank you so very much.